Hello everyone! In this tutorial, we are going to create our own Motion LoRA for the AnimateDiff Motion Model. You will be able to train your Motion Model LoRA for a specific movement, action, or camera motion in the Stable Diffusion ComfyUI. As a result, you will have your very own unique style of animation generated with AnimateDiff in the future. Let's check it out. The Motions Director is another AI diffusion model that enables you to create animation motion using a diffusion model like Stable Diffusion. By using this diffusion model, you are able to create very short motions and utilize those actions to train as a LoRa model in AnimateDiff. As you can see, all these example videos demonstrate very simple, single-action motions. For example, you have horse riding, weightlifting, and motions like running. You can use a short video clip for training Motion LoRA. You don't need to set up a bunch of files as a dataset like training a Stable Diffusion LoRA model. The models they support are AnimateDiff, of course, and it is based on Stable Diffusion 1.5. In the Motions Director GitHub project, there are more examples, as you can see, using one single motion of a character's action. It can be generated in other forms of the same motion movement, with examples like here, a tank or a lion running in the same direction. So using the Animated Motions Director here in this custom node project, we are able to create motion models for version 2 and version 3 of AnimateDiff. And we are able to use any of our short video clips containing a single action and create our own motion LoRA by ourselves. Here, it has some command prompts that require you to set this up. So let's start a command prompt window. First of all, we have to go to our ComfyUI folder. By doing that, we're going to type cmd to go to our ComfyUI folder path. Once in our ComfyUI folder path, we just copy and paste the install dependency command from the GitHub project page. In my case, I'm using the portable version of ComfyUI, so I'm going to use this Python command line and install all these dependencies. Once again, remember to update your diffuser's model in your Python before you install these dependencies, and that will run with no problems. After we restart our ComfyUI, we can see there are example workflows already included in this custom node files. You can click the examples subfolder and you will have 250-step and 500-step training workflows. For our tutorial right now, we're going to use the 250-step training workflow. First, in the damned validation settings, this is the basic setting for the Motion LoRA, how many steps we're going to use for training, the guidance scale, the Fed edition text prompt, and so on. The upper part here is the combined groups that is going to be just put as a label underneath the example's output to make it more beautiful and tidy in the final video combined output. We'll see that later. It's like an overview report. The animated MD initialized training nodes are going to be for you to create your Motion LoRA. In the LoRa's name, you can name whatever that action or motion is and put the text prompt for testing out the validations. Basically, we load a video in the front part here, and we select how many frames to cap, and we can get started training the model. Just click Cue Prompt, and we can go through the whole process. The training will automatically run by itself, so wait for it to loop through a few times. It will take a while. Meanwhile, if you want to use version 3, go download it from the Hugging Face animated page, and you'll get the motion model. Okay, so here's the result. I did not run through the whole video from the original source because I have tested that it is only able to run a maximum of 32 image frames for this Motion LoRA training, although they have different step values that are able to improve it. Each stage will add up 50 steps on top of this, so the total for this one will be 250 steps. Now here's the full result of the whole progress. That is the input 32 frames, which is the motion of a character walking upstairs. As you can see from the 50 steps, it does create a character that is walking. But the stairs are kind of confusing. It's still not well trained yet at 50 steps. After 150 steps, I see this one is the most perfect. It actually does the best out of all these training results. 151 is the winner in this training. In this motion training, I would say 150 steps for this LoRa result is doing the best, because when we see the 250 step result, you can see it's starting to deform the character. The sidewalk of the stairs is starting to get blurry and inconsistent, but overall at 150 steps, it's doing the same style, although there are some shakes and deformed areas on the side of the stairs, but the whole character, so far, is doing okay. So that is what is happening using Motion LoRa training and why it cannot be trained with longer image frames or longer videos. I guess because it has the limitations that is only able to take up to 2 or 3 seconds in the context window. Yes, in large language models, we called context window most of the time. But in diffusion models, this is the UNet space that is only able to take up 2 or 3 seconds for the Motion LoRa to create this walking upstairs motion. So it has the limitation of 32 frames here. Let me show you in the settings. So let's say in the load video here, I got the video loaded of the woman walking upstairs. And if I turn this to 60 frames, let's say 460 frames, that would be running about 4 to 5 seconds. But if we train this, let's go Q prompt. And if we start training this, it will show us the size of the tensors at 60 must be matched at the size tensor B32. So I guess that is the maximum size. 32 for training LoRa, because I don't see any additional settings that I can set more than 32 here. Although the font size is for the label of our end result, it is not the number of image frames it can hold and train on. So I guess that is the way of Motion LoRa to train just small little actions for specific movements in your videos. That will be what the Motion LoRa specializes on. And this is also able to train on the Animated Motion Model version 3. Right now, as you can see, I'm using the Motion Model version 3, and also the adapter LoRa is using version 3 adapter. You guys can just download the Motion Model from AnimateDiff on Hugging Face and the LoRa adapter in AnimateDiff Hugging Face. And you don't have to change the file locations once you put those in the ComfyUI. As you can see, I got the other motion models as well, and for the LoRa adapter, it's also put in the LoRa folder in your model subfolder, so it goes with the same locations in there. And for the scheduler, currently, I'm using the DDIM scheduler. That is mostly for training for specific movement motions that want to be more consistent. That is what we've got to use. And for this initialized training, that is the LoRa's name, which you've got to rename your LoRa. Right here for me, I would just put whatever that motion or action is going to be. In my case here, it's walking upstairs. That is the motion of this LoRa training result. So I use that for the LoRa's name. And here's some additional text for what you want to put in the prompt. Here it's high-speed camera motion. Maybe you can do something like slow motion instead. For example, you want to do camera slow motion, that would be a better way to do it in the text prompt. Then you can do that as well. The learning rate and all these other settings, I will just leave it alone. Just keep that as what it is right now because there are lots of different settings that you can try. But once you just try and find the most suitable result, then you can start changing those setting numbers and see what happens. You know, using the best result that you got and comparing it with the change numbers result. So yeah, right here, just remember to set the frame low cap in the load video node to below 32. I would say if you go to like 30 frames, that is ideally not too over, or even go to the max of 32 frames. Because right here you see this result, even I go to 32 frames, it's starting to get deformed in the last few image frames here in the last training steps output. So I would say the most ideal range for LoRa training is about 20 to 30 frames. That will be the most ideal range. So let's try. Yeah. Maybe this time I would try 20 frames for a walking upstairs motion, and I will put that as a side-by-side comparison with this result. So again, this is the 32-frame training result. And let's try another one that is using 20 frames. Although the motion is going to be shorter, it's going to be more consistent, and the action is more accurate for the generated result. So let's try it this way. One more thing. The The text prompt here is for you to change whatever validation prompt you want to bring up in the training result. For example, in my case, I used a man turning and walking upstairs. So that is the action describing the current motion in the original source video, which is a woman wearing a dress and walking upstairs. But then I want to transform it in the animated output for this Motion LoRa to a man walking upstairs. So just very simple actions like that. You don't have to put too many additional prompts in this text box, then you're good to go. So let's wait for the result on the 20 frames and we'll compare it with the current one that we see here. Okay, so here's the second try using 20 frames, and as you can see, the motion is shorter. The video is shorter. It doesn't take as long for the character to walk up all the way to the top of the stairs. And here are some training LoRa steps, and from here it's starting from the 50 frames. Let's go up to the overview result here for a better view. 50 frames is like that. And then when we see the 100 step and a 150 step, it starts getting more clear about the character walking up. The leg motion of walking upstairs starts getting clearer. But then at step 200, you see some deformation on the character's body. But that's normal because this is not a diffusion model that's specifically for consistency. It's only doing the motion. But once we get to the 250 step and the whole structure of the motion is created, the steps from the left foot and the right foot going, walking up the stairs step by step is created. So therefore, I would say the sweet spot for creating this motion is setting your original source video at around 20-25 frames. That length is doing better than using 32 frames, which is the maximum length for LoRa motion training. But yeah, so far, that is how we can run this workflow in ComfyUI and train your Motion LoRa. Once again, you only need to load a video with motion and set up a very short clip. So for image frames, that will be 20 or up to 32 frames. And you have to confirm the motion model in here. Again, I'm using the version 3 motion model of AnimateDiff, and then you are optional to apply the motion adapter LoRa. I will use that just to provide more information to the AI. I'm using the realistic vision checkpoint again. You can use other checkpoint models to train. Just stick with whatever checkpoint model is in Stable Diffusion 1.5 or Stable Diffusion XL. But then for the motion model, you also have to match with the Stable Diffusion versions model as well. So this is basically the configuration here. And you have to make the image size dimensions as small as possible and easier for the motion model to understand. Because once you set it like 1024 pixels for width and height, that is not going to be compatible for the AnimateDiff motion model, as AnimateDiff is trained with 512 pixel images. So do not go above those numbers for the width and height here. If you keep these small numbers, that will perform better and be easier for the motion model to understand in order to create your Motion LoRa. And lastly, you can configure the Motion Model LoRa validation data settings here. Once you set the seed number, you can do the guidance scale, inference steps, etc. Steps can also be configured, but for the inference steps, 25 is the most standard one in all Diffusion AI model training. So start from 25 steps. If you want to spend more time, you can set a higher step as well, but it's not recommended for most cases. And lastly here, for each stage, it increases 50 steps. You can set it higher if you want, like starting from 50 steps and then adding another 100 steps or another 100 steps, etc. But 250 steps is good enough to create a motion, just briefly letting the motion model identify what kind of motion it is, and that's good enough. Then once we apply that in the Motion LoRa and later use the AnimateDiff custom node, we can choose that Motion LoRa to apply for those specific actions. Now once we have trained everything and all these Motion LoRas are created, you can find the Motion LoRa files in your ComfyUI models subfolder. Go back to the ComfyUI folder first. In ComfyUI, click Models. And in my case, I saved it in the AnimateDiff Motion LoRa folder. This is where we usually save the version 2 Motion Model LoRa files as well. And the Motions director also saves the Motion LoRas in the same folder here. It's more organized. We can have a subfolder that is automatically created by the Motions director. As you can see, there are some number IDs to identify each one. And then this one is the walking upstairs. That is the motion model that it created based on the steps. So we got the 250 step one here, and the previous examples, this one, are also saved in the Motion LoRA folder. When we come back here, as we can see, there's an earlier created Motion LoRA, and we can see right here another set of Motion LoRAs trained with our previous examples showcased. So there you go. This covers all the Motion LoRA training steps and tutorial. I hope you got some inspiration on how you can use this to create unique action and motion experiences in your animated creations. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. See ya!